Welcome to Spearo Diaries podcast with Laura and Elise, two Kiwi mermaids chatting to Spearo humans, yarning about spearfishing and detailing our diving adventures.
We love interviewing interesting and inspirational Spearos and getting their perspective on how they began their personal journey into the lifestyle we love. Let us fill your ear holes with why they enjoy spending time with fins on and a spear gun in hand.
This year, in 2025, we have a heap of adventure rundowns, trip and comp reports to fill you in on from the last few months, as well as a heap of legend stories to entertain you with. We hope you all got your summer dream fish and had time in the water with your favourite people.
A passionate ocean lover, photographer, Spearo and skipper, a man well known for the time that he gives to newbies and his enjoyment for people's firsts. Someone who highly values the full connection experience of the spearfishing lifestyle.
This human has happily helped many new and female Spearos into entering and enjoying the sport via his infamous boat trips and adventures. He details landing an amazing Marlin and many other stories from his time enjoying the underwater world. Ace photographer and infamous Uncle Spearo, Kent Remihana.
Well, we are here at the home in the garage, surrounded by lots of houseplants and snapperhead skeletons and what Laura has dubbed the Spearo Art Gallery of the North. This human is also a member of the North End Spearos, OG supporter of the amazing Salt Aotearoa kaupapa. He has helped many humans onto fish. He's an avid photographer. But here we have got Kent Remihana. Uncle, it's good to have you on the poddy. Welcome.
Thanks for that.
Welcome to Spearo Diaries, and we're stoked to be here and hang out with you and hit the water tomorrow, but the good stuff comes next. So we both know you to be, and to be fair, a lot of other people have agreed with these views on you. You're very generous with your time, your home, your boat, your knowledge of the ocean, which we've been beneficiaries of many times. And you have a passion for helping others and enjoying spearing and freediving. Obviously a lover of the ocean and being in nature, and an avid and talented photographer and underwater cameraman, amongst many other things. But our connection to you is similar to the way in which we've met many other people, which is where me and Elise like to invite ourselves on their boats, which is definitely what I did. My first day, I think I was trying to get you to remember this there earlier, but my first day out on the boat with you, I actually shamefully speared my first wrasse, which at the time I was very proud of. Did not know that that's not what you do, and that was at the Hen and Chicks with Mon and Benny.
That trip.
Yeah, it wasn't long after that. Yeah. I should have kept it to myself, but that's the honest truth. And I have learnt my lesson since to only shoot good fish when on your boat, and not to gut butterfish off the back of your boat. I did get told off for that.
That's yuck.
You could shoot it.
It wasn't by Uncle. Someone else did encourage me to shoot it, yes. It wasn't long after that trip, that weekend away, that I was harassing you and asking to bring up my spicy mermaids, Liz and Elise, for an epic camping trip to the place I always forget the name of.
Secrets of the North.
Just camping. You swam with a manta ray, Uncle, on that trip, so did Elise. Elise got her first John Dory's and Liz got her first Trev, and we've basically been harassing you every free weekend that we have to come and dive since. We're really frothed up to go diving with you tomorrow, and a lot of different people we've sourced some information from to research you. We have got some funny stories from the Spearo public, but honestly, all the other things that people have been raving about you are all just around how they wish there were more people like you giving their time to people and, giving their time to spearfishing and to Spearos. So, as quoted by Renee from Salt Aotearoa, that Uncle, you are a national treasure. And we wholeheartedly agree. So let's get cracking into the questions.
Right, once you've stopped blushing, Uncle, how did your spearfishing journey begin? Where were you and how old were you?
I'd say my journey started pretty similar to most other Kiwi young men, boys, back in the day, trying to fish off the rocks and just sucking at it.
Yeah.
Just being useless. And then eventually just jumping in and having a look and just falling in love with the underwater world from there, I guess.
Nice.
And I think I was in Christchurch when I first probably started getting into spearfishing.
Really?
Previously, it was just in Taranaki, just going out getting tiny power.
Is that where you grew up in Taranaki?
Yeah, in the Naki.
Oh, far out.
Where, yeah, power, I forget from memory, but I'm pretty sure it was like 90 centimetres they have to be. They're quite
Right.
small.
Back then.
So, like, back when I was like a teenager, that's what we used to do, go out and get little power and kinner and
Sweet.
stuff, and that was about it. But yeah, it wasn't until I was down in Christchurch when I really got into actual spearfishing.
What were you doing down in Christchurch, and who talked you into it? Or did you just decide to jump in one day?
How did I get into it? The very first time I jumped in was around Taylor's Mistake, and I got all snagged up. I was surf casting off the rocks,
Ah.
so I jumped in trying to free my hook,
Oh,
and then just seen what I could see underwater. I was like,
with a mask, or did you
yeah,
just...
I had a mask and
Yeah,
snorkel in
okay.
there because we'd been swimming earlier, and then I just jumped in and like just seeing everything underwater. I was like, this is way better.
Yeah.
And then I remember seeing, must have been Facebook, and I'd obviously been searching or doing something, and I came across a group in Christchurch that obviously go out spearing and that, and it was Glenn Scott, who was running a freedive sort of pool sort of session at the pools down there, and I reached out to him and asked him about it and blah blah, and that's kind of where it all started from.
So you jumped in, did some pool training.
Yeah,
And
then just like obviously kind of probably like yourselves, just
Yeah.
meeting people that are into that sort of stuff and going out on
Cool.
trips and getting into it.
How old would you have been around then? Or how long ago was that? Not to give away anything.
It would have been about 15 to 20 years ago now.
Holy
Yeah.
heck. Aren't we just young?
Old, eh?
Awesome. That sounds like a really good way to start. And yeah, I think I remember being on the boat a few times growing up, looking at the fish, being like, oh, why can't I just get in there and get them? You'd just be like, imagine putting a camera on the bottom of your line, and just those thoughts that you remember going, oh, actually, maybe I was into spearfishing for, the idea of it before you even knew what it was, you know?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, from there, given that you obviously were pretty wowed by the view, can you recall a specific memory in your life where the ocean really impacted you?
Probably not so much impacted me because I've always been a part of it. Even I remember back in my early days at school, I was always a strong swimmer and into surfing and bodyboarding and always in the ocean. Yeah, the spearing side of things, I don't know. It's like going back to those early days. It would have just been the trips going up the Kaikoura and stuff and grabbing power and kinner and starting to shoot other fish and getting the stoke from there, I guess, yeah.
So just kind of like a melting pot of lots of different little trips maybe when you first started out, where you were real pumped to gather the food and be in the water and
super enthusiastic and just every weekend you're frothing to go somewhere and do something.
Because from Christchurch, it's not known to be the best spearfishing spot. I mean, Kikes is a couple of hours from there, eh?
Yeah, about 2 hours to Kikes. In saying that though, Christchurch or the South Island in general has produced some of New Zealand's top spearos. I know a couple that have come from down there. They have moved up north eventually and gone on.
Breeds resilience, I reckon, because it's meant to be quite murky, quite cold, not as fishy, eh? Compared to up here.
I kind of like them diving down south to more you go out and you're gathering, I guess.
Yeah.
You're not hunting as such because there's so much seafood down there, your crays and power and kinner and butterfish and stuff like that. The moki are generally easier sort of fish to target, I guess. So it's more like gathering. I kind of caught it when I was down there.
Yeah, that
Wasn't
makes
until
sense.
I moved up north that you get more into the hunting side of things, and yeah.
Would you say, even though you don't have a specific moment that the ocean's impacted you, do you have like a memory of seeing a particular ocean creature at all that you were like, whoa, like that particular one just stands out for you? Because I know you would have seen some pretty amazing creature action.
Yeah, I've been slacked in. Probably not in the early days. Probably most of the better stuff that I've seen is since I've moved up north. Been like we went out to the caves with Elise and seeing the manta rays and going out wide and seeing heaps of sharks and whales and marlin and mahi and blah blah. So yeah, most of the cool stuff's happened up north, I'd say.
Yeah, I guess every time we've been to the caves, which we've often been to with you and people from around here, like we feel like that's one of those magic spots. We've seen like turtles there, we've seen the great white there, there's manta rays. Like there just seems to be a lot of, you know, that kind of action whenever we're around there.
Yeah, it's such a funny place. Like it's like really, it's not the hugest group of islands, but it's like just such a wilderness experience. Even though it's like so close to land, like every time it's like National Geographic styles, eh?
Yeah. Anything can swim past you, I reckon, when you're at the caves or somewhere up north like that, you know.
Yeah.
You could be just off the coast and like a black marlin or whatever. Something could just swim past you, you know.
Holy heck.
I think it's, I think we're a bit spoiled.
Is it just
sometimes.
a northern thing? Like, is it like the currents coming down from Australia? Or what do you think it is?
Don't ask me the tricky stuff. I don't know what it is.
In the ocean?
But, yeah, we've seen some cool stuff up here. I don't know what it is. Obviously, it must be the currents or
The sprinkling of magic.
the water temps. But, yeah, there's definitely some good spots where you dive and, like, anything could appear in front of you, you know.
That's so cool. Well, if you don't mind booking in a whale shark for us maybe tomorrow, that is on my dream list. Do you remember, I know that you remember every single trip, eh, Uncle? Definitely.
Too many trips, too many ladies on the boat.
Do you remember your first fish, shooting your first fish?
No. What was my first fish?
You just make up a story, no one will know.
I can't remember my first fish. I'd like to say butterfish maybe when I was living down south, but probably not. It was probably some other fish.
Yeah.
But yeah, I honestly I can't remember. I can't remember my first fish.
Yeah, okay. Have you got one, like, we'll keep pestering you. So have you got one, like, that particularly stands out for you that you've shot that has just been like, oh?
My mates will give me shit. I'm pretty chill when I'm diving. Like, I'll shoot a trophy fish and barely smile. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like I appreciate it and I'll take it home and eat it. But like, yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty chill. But the one that does stand out, I don't know. Might sound a bit
You can toot your
funny.
horn, go on.
Yeah, toot my own horn. It will probably be when I went out west with the bro Darcy. It was a bit of an unplanned trip, and we went out west for our blue water comp that we do, and got my Marlin, and yeah, just seeing that in the water,
Sick.
and then connecting with a good shot, and yeah,
So how did you get it? You got to give us a rundown of the day, like,
the day had barely started. So we launched up north. We went out of the Hokianga, went over the bar early in the morning on first daylight. Went out. We literally had no idea what we were doing, and we tried to set the fishing gear, and we're like
you're running
just winging it,
jigs off the back
just
sort of
running
thing?
teasers and stuff, and
Yeah.
the hooks.
Yeah,
Just running
ideal for when you're
teasers and
jumping
that,
in.
and like we're trying to figure out how to set the rods and the lines and all the teasers up and where to put them.
Yeah.
And we finally got everything set up and we started trolling, and Darcy sat on the back for the first hour. Didn't see anything, and then we swapped over. And then towards the end of my first hour, I was like, I probably should put my mask and snorkel on properly just in case. And then it was literally like towards the end, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll put my mask and snorkel on just just in case. And then seen, was it the bill or the dorsal fin? Same, broke the surface. And I was like, oh, was that a marlin?
To kind of
And
like
then,
shock you at first.
Yeah,
You're like, wait a second.
because you see all the water kind of
Yeah.
waves and stuff, and you're like kind of hallucinating
you
a
almost get
little
in a
bit.
trance, eh?
Yeah. And I was like, nah. And then, no, there was. And then I think the bro Darcy yelled out, Marlin, Marlin. And then so I kind of just fell off the back of my boat.
How fast were you
And,
travelling?
We would have been doing 6 or 7 knots.
Okay.
And didn't see
Hectic.
anything at first.
Yeah, just a lot of
But
bubbles.
I was kind of, just all the bubbles from the whitewash from the prop and the motor.
Yeah.
And I could still hear Darcy yelling.
Yeah.
And then he was yelling, it's on the other side. And so I assumed it was on the other side of the whitewash.
Yeah.
So I like kind of duck dived under the whitewash
Yeah.
to get onto the other side. And then this marlin kind of appeared and kind of just swam straight towards me. And, like, as soon as I seen it coming towards me, I was like, I've got
Dang.
this.
Yeah, mate.
Because I've always heard stories if they're swimming away,
Yeah.
it's too late, you know.
Really?
They're just going to swim off and
Okay.
you won't get a shot. And this one was just coming straight at me, like a kingfish. And you've had ones just kind of swim at you and it just comes right up and
Yeah.
just turns broadside and was like,
Bang.
I was going to shoot this and
Sweet.
yo.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, that was pretty early on in our trip, and yeah, it was good.
Where did you hit it?
Right in the spine, right in the middle.
Nice.
So
Spine to marlin.
almost like I had it almost to me within the first 5 minutes. And I was like, this is pretty easy.
Like, this marlin gig. Why doesn't
Yeah.
everyone do it?
And then when I got it real close to me, I don't know, it must have seen me or just felt the line tug in a funny way, and then it decided to take off. And yeah, it took off. I was like, oh, yep. So I just fell back to the second float and kind of just like swimming hard out.
Just
trying
making
to
sure you
chase
don't
it.
get like wrapped up as it happens, or was that like a potential?
Yeah, it is a potential, but I think toot my own horn again.
Go on.
I think after
Beep,
heaps of
beep.
years of experience,
Yeah.
you kind of know where your line is,
Yeah, okay.
etc. And I just fell back to my second float pretty quickly and then just swam after it hard out. And then after its first big run, I think it just died.
Yeah.
And then just pulled it up, and
Oh, heck.
that was that.
What kind of gun did you use to shoot it?
I just used a basic like 130 Rob Allen, just
Double
a
rubber?
breakaway.
Oh,
yeah,
breakaway.
double rubber,
Cool.
nothing too fancy.
I mean, that would have been a pretty like phenomenal thing to just experience, even seeing it in the water. But not only that, it was obviously a bucket list kind of first time fish for you, as well as you guys were actually technically you had lodged a day for the Blue Water Classic. Was that?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so we lodged a day. It was pretty last minute. Like I think we decided pretty late the night before to do it.
Had you heard that there were sightings of marlin in that area, or was it?
Yeah. That the West Coast was firing that year, so quite a few teams and people had been going over. Because there's a few other people out that day that we knew, and they had sightings and near misses, etc. as well. Yeah.
But is this right that you shot the first ever marlin in a Blue Water Classic though, eh? Oh, and I'd done that before?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was the first one
Yeah.
in our comp, because the comp had been running maybe 2 or 3 years prior, and we didn't know marlin had been weighed in.
And for those people who maybe like don't know what the New Zealand Blue Water Classic is, what's kind of your involvement with that? Because you were just competing, like you help organise it, right?
Yeah. So the last few years, me and Aidan, or some people might know him as nephew Spearo, have kind of been running it in the background. But previously it was Brett, another mate, he's the one that came up with the idea to do Blue Water Comp. And the main reason behind it was just to get people away from the traditional comps that there are in New Zealand, where you go out and shoot snapper and kingfish and all your reef type sort of species. And
On the same day, is a little bit different doing it spread out on different days, eh?
yeah, and then Brett originally wanted to get people out to go wide to, chase gamefish and like show that New Zealand does have a blue water fishery, I guess.
I mean, that's pretty cool. Like, if I hadn't entered the Blue Water Classic, there's no real thought into actually going marlin hunting myself just yet. It's only when that came about that I was like, oh yeah, give it a crack, But I kind of like entered on the premise that, I've caught a kingy before and that's one of them that's on the list.
Yeah.
So if I can at least clock one kingy in, it's fine. So the comp runs 8 days, is it? Over a certain time period. So you've got 26 December to is it March?
Pretty much. It's pretty much basic. It's all summer.
Yeah.
And some. It runs for quite a while. So you get 8 days you can use over the summer period to go out wide and chase some game fish.
It's 4 people or something, like in a team, but you don't all have to be on the boat every day that you go out, but up to 4 people within a team.
Yeah, up to 4 people on a team. So previous years you could just have one person, but I think it was last year we changed it minimum of 2 and up to 4. And
I think it's a cool reason. I didn't end up on a team this year. I didn't make the cat and Elisa's team.
You shouldn't have a boat.
They needed people with a boat. And I was like, I've killed a kingy before, so it felt a bit above my reach. But I loved hearing the updates from Elise, because it's every time people are going out, they're lodging that they're going out. So you know such and such a team, like the floppers or whoever are going out, and then you get the update about how well they did, if did they see any marlin. There's a photo comp involved where you can submit the best photos from it, and it's I think it's really cool.
And so if 2, say if you're a group of 4 and 2 are on one boat, 2 are on the other boat, that counts as 2 days, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Cool.
You know all the rules.
Well, I've been I took it very seriously. I even bought a game float with a secondary float. I was ready to go.
I'm keen to do it this year just because I like I almost just want to be part of the chats, hearing how everyone else is doing.
He just wants to be in the group chat.
How everyone's doing and hear about their adventures and go to the prize giving at the end and win some stuff.
Watching her squirm, me telling her stories she hadn't heard about yet, it was quite entertaining.
Yeah, that's legit. My favourite part is the group chat that we have. And quite a lot of comps, people are quite competitive against each other, as you should be, I guess, in competition. But this comp's real social. So we have a big group chat and all the teams are in there, but everyone's helping each other. So say there's some teams up north, there'll be people in their chat telling people where the blue water is, where the fish are, and
that's cool, because you often don't get that with Spearo sometimes,
Yeah, everyone's real friendly and helping each other out, trying to get out wide to target whatever fish you're chasing.
Yeah, that's cool. And it seems to be that people re-enter each year, and it's like a way to catch up. And I guess it's a good way, if you move towns in New Zealand, you can still be part of a Spearo community without all living in Auckland or living in Kerikeri.
One of the other reasons I entered, one of the main ones actually, is because the spot prizes are so good. I didn't end up being able to get to the prize giving day, which I was bummed about, because it's probably one of the main reasons I entered as well. Because I live in hope of spot prizes, but I think my kids got sick or something like that. But it's pretty cool, and there's a bit of an after party, eh?
Yeah, we're pretty spoiled with the sponsors. They jump on board with this comp each year, and even we're like, what? When people say yes. I don't know, as the comp's gone on, I don't know, it's I'm not shy to ask people no more. But they're either going to say yes or no, and I'm always blown away by how much support we do get with the comp, and it's just awesome. Yeah,
I think it's cool. It gets brands out there too. It gets their name out there associated to spearfishing and to other Spearos, and it gives people a chance to try out products and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and I think it's awesome that you guys organise that, and pretty cool to get a marlin in the mix of that as well. So did you? Hopefully your team actually won there. Yeah, I think someone got a marlin this year too, didn't they?
Yeah,
the team that won.
Shot this year, right?
Yeah, I think.
I should remember. I should have done research on this, but I can't quite remember who it was.
He remembers every single dive. But I think 2 were shot this year. Speaking of memories, well, it's not necessarily memory. I was just trying to do a segue, but it didn't work after I just thought about the question I was going to ask you. What is your favourite part of spearfishing?
My favourite part?
Yeah. See, now you're remembering all the fun you have.
As I'm getting older, as I'm turning into an old man, my favourite parts are just connecting with people and going out with new people and just enjoying going out on the water. Yeah.
Yeah, we do hear that you I mean, I've seen you take a lot of people out, like, and friends out, and their stoke when they get back is so cool. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, you've mentioned it to me quite a few times that one of the things you like the most isn't necessarily even being in the water. Like, you like being on the boat, on the water, and seeing other people get like their first species and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is Uncle taking people out. Like, he takes them out and just has a snooze on the boat.
Yeah. I love having
a
a
fish
sleep.
last time I was with you. You got in the water. There was no sleeping last time, so it's not always the go.
I only shot that fish because I looked behind me and I seen these two people, no names, like all tangled up in my anchor float line. I don't know what they're doing, trying to untangle themselves from the anchor rope. And there was like schools of kingies around me. I was like, oh man.
I'd already missed one and thought I'd shot it in the head and it bounced off. Elena had her line tangled and there was, to be fair, there was a lot of current and I think I might have yelled out kingy about 5 times before you got in. So, but you got a kingy and
I was like, oh well, I'll shoot one.
it was a good juicy one. We got a second shot on it and probably we all should have got one, but it was exciting for Elle to see her first live kingy and to see you get that. I think it was exciting for her anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I appreciate your second shot.
Thank you, sir. You probably didn't need it, but it's actually real fun doing second shots on fish that are moving pretty fast, I reckon.
It's not an easy thing to do because quite often the kingies are going mental because they've already got a shaft in them and they see a second diver on them and it's like, holy heck, I'm swimming away from this and they're not an easy thing to shoot.
I've missed before on a really big fish on a mate's fish and I always felt real bad about it. So now I'm like obsessed with like line it up right, get it right and do not miss. So glad I didn't miss for you.
Have you got any tips on taking second shots?
Don't miss.
Don't miss.
Revolutionary.
Not really. I haven't done too many second shots myself. I don't know, just
Ask the
be
buddies
calm
that
and
take yours.
yeah, just be calm and go down and just the main thing is just be aware of float lines or reel line or whatever's in the water. Just be aware of where that is and just go down and shoot it in the face and that's it.
I've heard once someone say to like not look at the fish but to look at the shaft because that's like a one point that won't move as much.
Oh yeah.
Do you reckon?
I haven't heard that, but yeah,
Well-
I can understand that. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like the point that moves less when they're like spinning around and going NATO, you know?
Oh yeah.
I got told by someone, I can't even remember who it was, and they said just aim for like the thickest part of the fish because you're not trying to stun it because it's already been hit. You're just trying to secure another shot.
Yeah.
So I was just aim for the fat bit.
Yeah, I'm always quite like that with my fish. Like, I'm all about securing the fish. Like, yeah, if you get a good shot and you can stone it, yeah, perfect. That's ideal, I guess. But the big part is, for me, is just securing that fish. So if you get that shot, be it mid-body, towards the tail or wherever, just get that shot and land that fish.
Save letting any sharkies get habits or behaviours that particular area is known for getting a free feed and get it in the boat and high fives. You've obviously seen like a lot of different people go about spearfishing where you've got different people who dive in different ways and like different energies on your boat and all of that kind of thing. If you could like describe, there's 2 different things we want you to describe. One's like, the ideal dive buddy. And then the other one that we thought specific for you would be like the ideal kind of boat passenger, I guess. Like what would be, maybe we'll start with that one. Like if you could describe the best actions of a person coming on your boat, we'll take some tips for tomorrow. How would you describe that person?
I know where this is going.
No buckets.
I think I know where this is going.
It was in the notes. I wasn't trying to throw Elise under the bus here. It was in the notes.
We've had a big bag, bucket, and box, just, bonanza tonight.
Bucket box.
Yeah, carry on with your lives, come on.
What she's referring to is our ongoing argument about the box. Uncle did bring out that he was not keen. He was not keen on Elise bringing her whole plastic box onto the boat, but that wasn't where I was going with that.
It's probably got 12 square meters of space on that boat, and there's not room for, the 30 centimetre by 50 centimetre box.
We're taking the microphone away from her. She's but upset right now. But yeah, how would you describe the ideal boat passenger on your boat for a day out?
Someone that gives you money for gas.
Yeah, gas money's always good. Food's good.
Snacks. Yeah.
Snacks are good. I think it comes over time, because like I think with what I do, taking out lots of new people, etc., like people don't really know the boat etiquette or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, definitely over the years there is like a core group of friends that you'll take out and they just know all your process and how to do things, or even how they do things, and it just suits how you do it. Yeah, that's probably yeah.
So probably almost kind of like it's relaxing for you to go with people you've gone with a lot that know you well, because you don't have to explain heaps of stuff.
Yeah,
and it just works, and you just kind of gel with each other.
And they know where to chuck all their gear when they're finished, or keep the boat tidy, etc.
They know to bring lunch wraps for the fish wraps.
Yeah, and they're happy to drive the boat, or launch the boat, or retrieve the boat, and yeah, keeping all their gear tidy, like. But it's just all natural, like, you know, it just happens.
I guess that comes with time, then spending time with people.
Yeah, that comes with time, yeah.
So for anyone listening that is a newbie that may end up on your boat one day, like what's a tip that you could, like, what do they do? They show up, they bring their boat, like what's your expectations, like, if they haven't been on a boat before?
I'm too chill to say.
Yeah. Picture it not as a
We're not mind readers. We're not mind readers. What's your ideal person? They turn up with not too much gear.
Yeah, probably the not too much gear is quite good. But I'm probably way too, is it relaxed or chill? Because to be fair, the girls, they bring a lot more gear than the boys. Well, I prefer diving with the girls anyway, but like I've kind of gotten used to it. Like the girls will have their dive gear, and then they'll have about 5 different bikinis, and then they got another, then they got another bag full of I don't even know what, but just stuff. They just got so much gear. They don't have 2 or 3 bags. But yeah, I've just gotten used to it over the years.
So I guess then you've almost answered part of that question, because you're saying, and we'll talk about this a little later on as to why you do like diving with girls a bit more, but would you say almost then that your ideal passenger might be female then, because you actually quite like the energy of girls on the boat and in the water, eh?
Yeah, I think I prefer the energy of the girls just because they're almost on my level. Like they're way more chill. Like you'll go out with the boys and it's like, oh, not all boys are like this. Some of my mates are pretty chill too these days, now that I've gotten a bit older. But the boys just want to hunt from sunrise to sunset almost. And I'm quite laid back, and I'd like to go out and, you know, have a lazy dive, get out of the water and chill for a bit, or even get to the dive destination and sit on the boat for an hour before we even jump in and just talking rubbish and having naps, or going ashore and cooking up a feed, and like, yeah, I think it's just the overall experience, I guess, going out with the girls I prefer, and instead of just diving all day non-stop, I rather, yeah.
Okay.
Do you hate diving with me?
Me and Elise can take some tips here. We can be chill tomorrow. We can relax.
Yeah, settle down.
I'll be like all dressed and ready to go before on the boat. You'll be like,
Should be ready
she wants to spearfish.
Like, you'll see it tomorrow morning when we go out, and like you might have already picked up on it. Like I'm always the last one in.
Yeah.
And it's like, you go, and like I normally just chill on the boat for a while, but half of that's just because I want to have a shit.
We had heard a few things. I did say this to Elise in the car. I was like, I'm pretty sure the reason that he just drops people off and then he's like, I'll see you in a bit, is because he's doing that.
Yeah.
I don't know how you get away with that with all the girls on the boat. Making your uncle burly, but we'll get there soon. So ideal dive buddy, if you're actually in the water and you're actually diving and you're like, yep, I'm going to have my lazy dive. What's your ideal dive buddy doing? How are they being?
Oh, it depends what sort of diving we're doing. If we're out on deepish pins, chasing kingies, etc. Like obviously you want that dive buddy to be watching you and being right on top of you pretty much, being together. That's probably my ideal buddy, and someone that's not scared of sharks. But then snooping is a little bit different because kind of you want to be left alone if you're chasing snapper, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. It makes sense. Different environments, someone who can read those different times.
Yeah,
That'll be
yeah.
up your ass or leaving you some space.
Yeah, that's the one. And I like you know, if you dive chasing kingfish and you shoot a kingy, and quite often you'll just break the surface and they're already diving down to check out your shot and assessing if you need a second shot, and they'll just do it if they think you need a second shot, or they'll just leave you be.
Nice.
That's good because some people get weird about people taking second shots on their fish, you know, and it's a little bit more ego where it's just like, nah, like you're working as a team. You're more
Yeah.
likely to get the fish on board if you're a team, you know?
Yeah, like, oh yeah, it's always better to land the fish, I reckon. Like, just, you know, once you got that second shaft in it, you're pretty much going to land it. So yeah, I'm all about that.
You're saying too, you like the connection with people, so it makes sense that you probably like diving with people that you have a good time with, that are chill, that are fun. You know, if you've got that connection with people, you're probably going to enjoy diving with them.
Yeah, definitely.
So for you, what does it mean to you to be a Spearo?
What does it mean to me to be a spearo?
Yeah. Do you call yourself a Spearo or do you feel like that's who you are?
Yeah,
Or are you just bad uncle?
I'm just bad uncle. Nah, I'm definitely a spearo because when you talk to people that aren't involved in spearfishing and then you tell them you're going out on the boat,
Yeah.
etc., you know, they just assume you're fishing,
Yeah.
catching these fish, and it's like, oh no, I'm spearfishing, like, you know, in spearo. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm definitely a spearo. What does it mean to me? I don't know, I just like being in the water and floating around. Maybe because I'm fat and old, and floating
Oh,
around.
I keep saying that, eh?
Floating
God.
around's quite easy.
When you're in already. There were some comments in our research about you being some kind of seal.
The New Zealand fur
Graceful.
seal?
A New Zealand fur seal, graceful and smooth, something about the way you move in the water being like a seal, so...
Yeah, I'm definitely a seal.
Yeah.
I got my winter coat.
So you are part of the North End Spearos. Have you got quite a heavy, like, community there or, like, a bit of involvement? Or are you just kind of like, yeah, I signed up and every now and again it happens?
Yeah.
Where's the hoodie?
I heard Hikurangi Pub is a bit of a hot spot. Is that right?
Only for me and Aiden. In the early days, Northern Spearos, we should try to do quite a bit.
Yeah.
Be it trips away or up to the Kings or just going to the pub and catching up every month. But like most clubs, I think it kind of like it's hard to keep going and it kind of drops off a little bit. We still, and again, probably like most clubs, we still have our chat that we're quite active in and talk a lot of rubbish. But
That's probably one of my favourite things about Spearos.
as an actual club, we probably don't do as much as what we'd want to. We talk about doing heaps, but yeah, it probably doesn't happen as much as what it used to or what it should.
Okay. You can just need some fresh blood joining in and then signing up and taking it away, or are you just like, nah, it'll happen in its own time?
That's the hardest part, eh? Like, because most clubs come from a core group of people.
Yeah.
And,
They've really driven it.
And yeah, they've driven the club and grown the club. And I find a lot of clubs around New Zealand, it's quite hard to actually get into the club if you're not close friends with certain people.
Yeah.
They're almost like a little bit elitist, I guess. and I'll be the same.
Well, it's like their baby.
In North End Spearos. Kind of the same. Like, you know, it's hard for new young divers to get involved, but
Yeah.
it's kind of what you need in a way.
Yeah. You do. Or else
But
it does
that's
die
where a lot
out.
of clubs kind of fall away, I think, over time. Yeah.
I noticed that we've been really lucky, but we probably force our friendship on a lot of people. But I think if you're not confident enough to kind of like invite yourself to things or hit people up or message people you don't know or just fit in with people, maybe you kind of stick to those cliques of people. But I think when you're like us and you maybe don't know people, you do go to some of those events or clubs or groups or comps and you do notice everyone kind of knows everyone and that's in a nice way that they're tight, but it could be maybe a little bit intimidating to some people to break into that kind of environment.
Yeah, definitely.
I can imagine you at a group meeting, club meeting, just talking everyone's ears off constantly, you know. So they're probably like, God, that guy won't shut up. So,
only if he's had some cracking run.
yeah. Do what you got to do.
Would you say that like being in that category of being a spearo though, like would you say that's like a really important good part of your life?
The club side of things?
No, just a general being a spearo, like is it an important part of who you are?
Yeah, I think it grows who you are. It's definitely a lifestyle. And that's all a choice. So yeah, I think this is like any hobby. You either like we're all obviously into diving and spearfishing, and then you got people that are into chasing the snow and going snowboarding every weekend, etc.
Spearos are just as much into spearfishing as like CrossFit people are into CrossFit. Becomes their whole like personality.
Yeah, that's it. We don't wear little hot shorts, etc.
Where all our spearos are way better looking.
Some people do both, but yeah, I mean that's cool. The spearo lifestyle and the spearo community is one of the reasons we're doing this, is because we want to hear stories from people like you and understand why people do it, why they spend their time doing it, why they give their time to help other people. I mean, I just think about how painful it would be to constantly help newbies. Like, I find myself painful sometimes. Elise has given me a lot of her energy and time to help me. Definitely helps some people who are newer than me, and it is really rewarding. Like, yeah. I'm a teacher, obviously, normally, but helping someone else and seeing how excited other people get about...
Oh, yeah.
Like, one girl we took out, and she'd never seen a kinner, never dived before, and she just, like, screamed... Grace, this is you. She just got so excited about seeing a kinner, and I just was like, yeah, that's the reason you help people.
That's so cool.
And even in the pool, like a few girls have been sort of getting together just to wear their snorkel and stuff, you know, because no one's ever like taken them snorkeling or just...
Shout out to Snorkel Sisters.
Yeah, Snorkel Sisters, a new collective, very, very new. The old Mount Albert pools, because a lot of the girls have been hitting us up wanting to say to me, Elise, you know, how'd you guys get into clubs and things? And, or, you know, some of the girls you've met, like Michaela and that, who some of the girls haven't been able to get into a club or a pool training. So we sort of think, well, there's all these people who want to get involved, and it's so much safer than them just, I don't know, going off to Matheson's by themselves. So, yeah, I guess I'm sort of saying I can see why you spend time helping people, because it can be really cool to see how pumped people get when they, experience those new first things. Right, well, we did hear about an awesome day. We have this section called Dear Diary entry, and you've told us about the Marlin, which just sounds like a really awesome diary entry. But do you have any other kind of best days or most memorable days? And it could be freediving as well. I know you do spend a lot of time freediving at places like Poor Nights and going out and just not spearing. So it could also be that. But have you got a day somewhere that's like a real memorable day?
Probably got too many. I'm just trying to think of one that stands out. I don't have any that really stand out, but I've got like heaps of awesome adventures I've been on and loved, like be it from Fiordland or the Kings or the Poor Nights. I love the Poor Nights. Hey, I love going over there and just I get to float. I just float around and watch all the fish life and just daydream. But yeah, there's heaps of awesome adventures I've been a part of, and I don't know. I don't have one in particular, but
sounds almost more like you remember the feeling that you get when you're in those places and in the water. Like that floating feeling you keep describing is pretty cool. Like
yeah, the Pool Nights is good for that. Like I literally just. Everyone's like, all right, get out of the water. I'm like, I'm always the last out. just don't want to get out. But yeah, going to places like Fiordland and down to Dusky and etc. is, I think every Kiwi should probably go
We're
down there and
so keen to go down there.
experience. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's I think it's just the remoteness. The fish life is cool, but it's nothing too crazy, I don't reckon. Because when I went down there, I was already living in the South Island, so I was already used to seeing all those sort of species that you'd get down there. But in Fielden, they've just been bigger and just more of them. But yeah, it's definitely a cool place to go hang out for a few weeks.
It's pretty amazing, that in one country you can be somewhere like Stewart Island or Fiordland, then Kaikoura, Wellington, Bay of Plenty, all the way up to the Kings, like all those different places. And, you look at footage and you talk to people and they're all just quite vastly different to be in one country. I think that's what's so cool about diving and being able to, don't even need to start talking about overseas trips and tropical trips because I still haven't been to so many of those really cool parts of New Zealand. And awesome. Well, there is a day that you may remember that someone's told us to remind you about, and it's probably not even a memorable one, but this was brought up I hope I remember. Well, this was brought up when Nephew was talking about different things to recall. He said lots of lovely things about you, but this one he said, remind him about the time Nephew Spearo flipped your boat.
Oh yeah. So I think that was the first time my boat had been in the water since its refit. I'm pretty sure it was the very first time. So quite a few years ago, I was humming and hawing about buying a new boat, but realistically, what I could afford new would just give me what I've already got. So I was like, maybe I just waste my money and tidy my one up. So I kind of gave my one a bit of a silly birthday and repowered it and repainted it and pretty much rebuilt it from the ground up. And anyway, we went out to the cabs one day, and the motor's pretty silly for my boat, and heaps of power.
Isn't way too big for it?
Oh, no, it's perfect.
Oh.
It's pretty much perfect for it, I reckon. But when we first put it in the water, it had a prop on it. I'm not a very technical person, but it just had heaps of grip and heaps of torque, and you'd put the throttle down and the boat would literally try and jump out of the water. And we got back to the beach at the end of our dive, and I was like, let's get some drone footage of the boat. As Aiden took it for a fang, and I was chasing him with the drone, and then next minute I just literally see the underside of my boat. What the hell's going on?
Where are you at this point?
I'm on the beach.
You're on the beach.
Just chasing him with the drone. And he had been fanging along, and I think he just caught a chine in the chop, and the boat just kind of rolled right over, and he had shocking with names. Anyway, he had another person with him. Rose. He had Rosie with him, and she was standing in the passenger position, and she ended up on top of Aiden because he was driving, but the whole hull of the boat was out of the water, almost rolled right over. And this is the very first time it had been in the water since it's refit.
That you didn't even get mad? Because that's how he mentioned it. We were talking about how you never get mad about anything. That was a story he told us.
Yeah, no, I didn't really care. I was like,
that's shit. Crazy. That's a new level of chill. I do know a story where you did get mad once.
Eh?
And it was to do with your newly painted boat before lockdown. And some magpies.
Oh, yeah, those fuckers.
So you do get mad.
Yeah.
It is a very rare chance.
Magpies are harder to shoot than snapper.
With a spear gun?
Time clip.
Yeah. With a gun. So, yeah, I just got the boat all painted, and it was pretty shiny and new. But this was before I had the shed, and it used to just live out the back on the back lawn. And I don't know if many people know, but magpies love reflections and seeing themselves. I don't know what it does to them or whatever, but there was these two magpies that used to I just hear this banging in the mornings, and what's that noise? And I'll go outside, and there's these magpies standing on the grass, but they'll be jumping up, picking the boat with their
Just
what do you call
picking
it?
at it.
Yeah, the beaks. Yeah, like just smashing the
Just
boat.
to the side
and
of the hull.
Yeah, like and all down the side of the hull was just scratched up from these magpies,
The heck?
and they're just doing it for like weeks on end. And it was just I was like trying to cover the boat, and I was like setting up like little places where I could hide and try and shoot them, but.
I'm not surprised you wanted to end them like
As
that.
soon as they heard me or seen me or anything, they're off, eh? They're worse than snapper.
You needed to have like a Kent scarecrow standing out there.
Yeah, I needed something.
Yeah.
Oh, they did my eating, eh?
Did you ever deal to them? Did you ever get them?
Nah.
So you just built a shed. That was your solution.
Even, yeah, build a shed.
Jeez.
Even Aiden tried getting them because he was here quite a lot too, and like, you'd see them on the lawn and try to sneak out and get them, but they'll be just gone.
Every time you see a magpie now, you just eye twitches a little bit.
A
Like,
little bit, yeah, pretty much. I see the ones if I'm going up the road or
Yeah.
out to the coast or whatever, and I see a magpie,
up.
even though it's not the one, well, maybe, but it's like, oh, you little,
Every magpie could
Yeah.
be that magpie.
are you one of those ones? I'll fucking get you, you little, you know.
you little bastards. So speaking of boats, we need some tips on what makes a good dive boat and not just having like a 200 horsepower on like a 4 meter. We want like differences in designs. What's good for a dive boat, and what kind of boat do you have? What is your boat's called? Bad Uncle.
Yeah.
So let's start there. What's it? What kind of is it?
Bad Uncle was just an old laser craft. Most people in New Zealand will know what a laser is, especially the older ones. They're quite well known for their ride and blah, blah. I like saying blah, blah.
7 meters? 6 meters?
6 meters.
6 meters.
Um,
Has it got a ballast?
they've almost got a bit of a cult following in New Zealand. Like Darren and that's what they used to go out on back in the day. They had old lasers.
Neat.
Well, it was either an old laser or an old Haynes.
Yeah, okay.
Got heaps of photos of the boats that they used to go out on,
sick.
and they're all out there jumping around in their lasers, jumping over waves and stuff, and probably breaking them.
Oh,
But I think a good Spearo boat is just in basic, like just heaps of space. Like I remember when I first got this one, the first thing I did was got the grinder out and cut the seats out because I don't need no seats, and a few of the girls moaned because I cut the ladder off too because I don't need no ladder. I'll cut that off.
why have you not got a ladder on the back of your boat?
Hell no.
I've never noticed.
I always thought if I can get in and out,
Yeah.
so you can everyone else.
I like that mentality. I broke my rules. You don't get back in, you swim at home.
So I've pretty much made it as uncomfortable as I can, I guess, by cutting the seats out and putting a loud V8 on the back and
Big sound system
big
inside.
sounds, and I don't know, people still come, so
We've got a canopy. So you basically cut everything out on the inside
yeah.
so that you can create space for overnighter. Is that what you've done?
It's more like you can sleep up the front, and I like sleeping on my boat. The floor space is just, I don't know, for your messy people, the Laura, I guess.
Yeah, like you've got to have enough floor space for all the things.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, before you had the laser craft, actually, can you tell us about your wee fella?
Yeah,
I'm talking about the boat.
Yeah, wee fella, I know
Yeah.
who wee fella is. So before the laser, my first boat was, got the nickname wee fella. I don't know, it was just this little ugly pontoon boat that me and my mate Sean went halves in, and we had that down south. But the places that boat went was unreal. It went everywhere. I'm surprised it didn't sink.
Really? Was it just a little one that you just...
Yeah, it was it was a little 4 meter pontoon.
Right.
Like real low profile, like really low to the water. It did some massive trips and multiple day trips. And
We've been provided some pictures of wee fella during our research, so we'll pop them on your episode post so people can see wee fella and know that, haven't always been rolling around in this giant big black laser craft.
But wee fella was awesome, man. We did some massive trips on that boat. Like it went all around the South Island.
Oh, cool.
It went everywhere. all through the sounds. Like we did multiple days just camping out of it. There was even talk. We were talking to helicopter companies and stuff. It's like
Flying it in.
could we fly this into Finland? No, like, how much does it weigh?
Yeah.
I tell them, they're like, yeah, we can do that. And it's
No
like,
way.
You know, we're like, yeah, it never happened, but like, we had heaps of fun on that boat.
Cool. What happened to it?
Sold it to someone down Gizzy ways. I think it was a bit of a weird sale, that one.
Let's see if we can find out where Wee Fella is. Maybe it'll
I don't think I
put it out to the people. We didn't have Wee Fella written on it, so it might be a bit tricky. It was a silver boat.
Yeah, it's even been all the way up here. It's been up to where did we?
This is to
Almost Mad Eye Bay.
all 10 people that are listening, you know, New Zealand's
Yeah.
6 degrees of separation, though. Old Barry, it's a back in Napier, wherever it is. Gisborne, did you say?
I think it went to Gizzy, but even that was a weird sale there. I put it on Trade Me and it sold. And then, like, I couldn't get hold of the people that bought it. And I was like, what's going on? But, like, they had paid for it.
Oh, random.
Yeah, they paid for it, and I could not get hold of them, eh? I was like, how the hell do I get hold of these people?
How long did you keep it for
It was
before you...
like probably about 6 months.
No way.
And then I just got a message out of the blue. Oh, we're going to come pick the boat up tomorrow. I'm like,
Okay.
what? I was like,
Thought I'd got you some money.
I was almost going to relist it, eh?
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do with it. And I was like trying to track them down, like even real old school, and using the phone book, trying to look up their name, trying
Whoa.
to find them.
That's hectic. I wonder what they were up to. All right. You're also a bit of a champion on the photography. So I've seen you out in the water, taking photos of surfers. I've seen heaps of your photos of diving. Lots of good ones at pool nights. Tell us about your setup that you've got for taking those beautiful photos.
For people that get into photography, everyone knows it's pretty hard to keep up with technology, and it's a very expensive. So the camera I'm running in my housing's, I'd almost class it as old school these days. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Some people might look at it and think, oh, it's my dream setup, but it's like, it's quite an old camera. So I'm just running like an old 5D Mark IV in my housing, and yeah, that's what I'm running. I did buy a new camera to put in the housing, but I haven't bought the housing yet. 'Cause, you know, everything just costs way too much.
Hopefully by the time you get the housing, you won't have to get a new camera.
Yeah, well, I'm already looking at another camera. It's like, oh, maybe I just get this one and get the housing.
Yeah.
Did you start out like kind of being into photography on land and nature and then wanted to bring it into the water, or did spearing kind of get you into photography that way?
I always kind of had cameras, but I didn't do much. I wouldn't say I was really into it, but in my early years of diving, I pretty much straight away got a housing for the camera, and that's probably where I more got into the photography, and then the above water stuff kind of just flowed from there. And like, people were like, oh, can you do this and this and this for us? And so it's funny because like, I like taking photos underwater, so it's way different than trying to take photos of people at a wedding or posing people for nice photos. It's always real awkward where fish are easy.
Yeah, okay. That's quite interesting. I guess for a lot of people, I notice when you talk to spearos, a lot of people have, given their whip at doing some YouTube or GoPro videos of things.
Yeah.
So for people to be doing what you're doing, where you're more capturing that kind of art. I'm not saying GoPro or YouTube isn't artistic, because it definitely is, but I think your photos, and like people who have seen them, you've got a particular eye for like, the ones I love the most anyway, just the art teacher in me is a kind of like half and half. You'll often have half of the underwater scene and half up top, or the way you've pictured someone, like you said, isn't really posy. And it's not always about the fish or making it look like a trophy fish. It's more about showing the underwater environment and possibly even like the feature of that person, like their eyes or, just the way they're positioned in the water. And I just really love seeing those different underwater kind of scenes, as they don't all look the same.
I'm just a creep. I'm just
not in our notes, so...
I'm just a creep following people around with a camera.
A lot of people don't want to.
Go away.
A lot of people don't want to spend their time taking photos of other people, though. They just want to video stuff and killing kingies and on videos. Whereas
Acts like a creep, but then what comes out of it is just like this real arty photo, and you're like, whoa, okay, that's real fucking cool.
like you say, people have hit you up. It hasn't been something you pursued to do. It's more something you've just done because you enjoy it, and byproduct is you take some super cool pictures and enjoy having adventures.
I'm pretty. I don't know. Like people look at your stuff and they obviously like it and think it's good and etc. But like when I look at my photos, most of them, I'm never happy with them.
Classic artist.
Like nah, it's rubbish. Oh, rubbish. But people seem to like them, so keep doing it.
Yeah. Oh, hopefully you can take an inspirational art shot of us tomorrow. So this is kind of leading into some of the things you mentioned earlier. But basically, when we did our research and had a chat about how some of the people we know you, so people like Alex Edwards and Jackie, we know that you helped them out quite early on, kind of when they were younger and doing a lot of their kind of...
They still are younger.
They are still very young. Yeah, but, two of the top New Zealand women competitors, but also just two of the best spearos in New Zealand that I know of that are women.
Oh, I got a question first.
Oh, yes, yep.
What time are we going out tomorrow?
You were letting us know that.
Yeah, you're the captain. You want to go 5?
We can keep this in.
Nah, fuck.
You tell us when we need to be ready. You're the boat captain.
Yeah, I'm ready now.
I'm just messaging
I'll sleep on the boat.
Nephew Spearo, the snapper whisperer, he'll want to have some snappers in the morning. He'll want to be up early.
Just sussing the
I like going out on sunrise, and sunrise is getting earlier, so...
Sunrise is too early in summer. It's light. It's light at like
Spring into the day.
6 o'clock.
Like you said earlier, how guys always want to dive from sun up till sundown, and we're like, can we get up at sun up? Oops.
Yeah. You just have to be there. We'll take the boat. Don't worry.
Hey, carry on with your father's question now.
So yeah, we're just talking
Jackie.
about how we know that you've taken Alex and Jackie Edwards out a lot when they were getting into it, and even now you still take them out a lot. And we just sort of talked to them and a number of other people, including like Diver Mon and Renee from Salt and Benny and different people, and just so many of them commented on how you never rush them, you don't get frustrated at them, and how you've given them all this kind of time in the boat and just patience and stuff like that. And we might have already kind of covered this, but it was, what is it about females' approach to spearfishing that you enjoy so much? You did say it was that they were sort of calm, but what about when you're actually coaching them in the water, doing the actual spearing?
I think when I'm in the water trying to help the newer people out, I guess. The biggest thing, I just love seeing them when they do shoot a fish and the soak they get. And I think a part of it might be taking me back to my early days, like that same sort of stoke, like we all used to, when you shoot your first fish or just starting to get into it, and just the excitement and the happiness and the joy that it brings to people. I think I just like seeing that on the girl's face when I'm in the water teaching them or helping them to get their fish. And it's just some of the real basic stuff, they just froth and love, and it's good. And obviously the chill time on the boat, they're not so hardcore like the boys. They want to just dive and
Nice. That leads us on to Catherine and Alex were letting us know about the nickname of Uncle, but maybe you can answer this. Why did they nickname you Uncle Spearo?
So Uncle came, mate, no, not you, but another Laura, she started calling me Uncle, and she's a local from Whangarei, still good friends with her, and she probably started calling me Uncle just to get me out of that friend zone and into the family zone, We've
only just had this explained to us what family zone is. We know what
I don't know.
Zone is, but...
Yeah, I reckon it's worse than being in the friend zone. But she started calling me Uncle, and then I think it kind of stuck from there. Cafu might have got a hold of it, and Alex, and it's just just come from there, and everyone's just got on board, and then the boat ended up being called Uncle, and yeah.
What about Bad Uncle, though? Because you've got Bad Uncle on your boat. Or is that an After Dark edition?
I think, it's not up. It is dark.
It's very late. Very close to the time we have to wake up again.
Was that Alex? I'm pretty sure it was Alex that came up with their name, but there was kind of funny reasons behind it. But I don't know. I guess it's in when you're brought up in New Zealand in small towns, it's kind of normal to still be chasing your family members, I guess. So I guess that's where some Bad Uncle might have come from.
Oh no.
We'll keep it elusive. We'll let people keep wondering, shall we?
So, on a more serious note, what thoughts or concerns do you have about the future of spearfishing as like a recreational activity?
I think the near future will be sweet because everything takes forever to happen in New Zealand. Long term, like real long term, I don't think it's got a great outlook or a great future. I think it's only a matter of time before can you call it the greenies or whatever jump on to our sport or hobby or what we do. So I'm not that hopeful real long term on where spearfishing will end up.
Yeah, I mean, there's always a potential, and I know it does get a pretty bad name overseas as well. Even though, like, it's just I guess for a lot of people, the idea of actually putting a shaft into something and like killing it in like probably a bit more of a primal way than dragging fish up from the depths, thinking they're letting them go off to be merry, and then they go down and then they die on the bottom, which is what they don't see, which is what we see.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there is always that argument of fishermen, I guess, how they, like say, bring up fish from the depth and the bulk of them die if they try to release them, etc. But then you hear the argument that spearfishing is such a selective way to hunt, etc. But I don't think most spearos are as honest as what we let on to be. Like, I feel a lot of fish die before we get that one fish that we're chasing.
Okay.
I guess that's what's interesting to ask whoever we interview, like, because, you've been around a lot longer than us. Like, we've legit been on the scene for 5 minutes, and it's interesting for us to ask people that so that maybe we can start a few discussions around how do we give spearfishing as a recreation or the sport a better overview so people can make their own judgments around those kinds of things and not make judgments based on miseducation around what we're doing, and also not even to bag out like line fishers either. I mean, they love what they're doing. They've got different ones have different reasons around catch and release or getting their food and doing different things like that. And even the same, and I guess we can't bag out every commercial fisherman either, because a lot of people are doing that to make their money, and it's been in their family generations for years. But I think that we're going to all start having some pretty serious and real conversations about, like you say, the things people are maybe not being honest about, so that that we can hopefully carry on spearfishing for many generations to come. But with thinking about the environment and all that kind of stuff, we can't not talk about it.
I've often thought in the back of my head that the fisheries would probably be good if we banned recreational fishing and spearfishing, like everything, and we all had to buy our fish. I always thought,
you reckon?
Part of me's for that. Like, there's always bad apples in whatever you do, but because commercial fishing, at least you can kind of track what they're taking in that, and I think the wrecks take a lot more than what the research shows, etc. So part of me is like always thought, if we ban recreational stuff, would we be better off?
Interesting. It's an
It could work vice versa too, I guess. But yeah,
Doesn't sound
It's just saying.
fun, but
Yeah, it'd suck for us.
yeah.
But yeah.
Well, a more amusing section than talking about the future of spearfishing and our favourite activity is the ick category, which was actually suggested by Alex, the ick category. And it's where you get to tell us about your biggest pet peeve or ick when spearing, and that could be on your boat or in the water actually spearing.
Ick. My biggest ick.
And if you need some helpful thoughts around what icks are, me and Elise have lots about each other that we can whip out at any time to help encourage your own thought process.
When you buy a brand new car and then like the very first time you drive it up north, you bring your best friend and she buys salmon and eats it in the car and then spills it everywhere, all over the seat and her crotch and all the paperwork we're reading questions from
Let's
tonight.
be real here. My pants and the interview notes save your new car seat. Actually, my crotch currently does have salmon oil on it and the pieces of paper we are reading off, but it didn't get in the car, and I am sorry. Turns out I am Elise's biggest ick. But if we're talking, but you know, we can't have nice things. Wrecking nice stuff.
Being a boat owner, there's always those ones. Someone has a new car, like I kind of scratch my head when people always jump over the side.
The weight balance.
Because they always, oh no, I won't hit the boat and make me a donk. And it's like you just spent $1 million painting your boat to try to make it look pretty, and it's just getting banged up. And I guess the same with being on the inside, just messy boats. What is my biggest ick?
So be careful about weight balance
I
tomorrow.
can't say my
So get off the back of the boat.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, get off the back of the boat.
Yeah, no, I get you. That's a good ick. Good ick.
Can you recall a time that you got a very nice snapper at the cabs with Sam? Can you recall?
I don't remember where I was the next one.
Sam. Girl Sam.
All I was told was a very nice snapper at the cabs was Sam, and it was a notable snapper. A nephew told us about it.
That must be Girl Sam. Oh yeah. There was a time with Sam, Joe and Bailey, where she hasn't been out diving for ages. I was meant to go around, well, she kind of invited us around tonight to go watch the rugby, blah, blah. But we went to the caves one day, and shit, what was that Sam? And I think we're mucking around doing a burley, and not much was happening. Like, we've literally been in the water for a few minutes, and then so I just kind of swam out a little bit, and there just happened to be a pretty big fish sitting there, so I just shot it, and she was a bit blown away by the size and how effortless and easy it all kind of happened. It was very, very fluky, but they just literally just swam a few meters away, and next minute just landed this massive snapper.
Brad.
Silky smooth seal did his magic.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, you got also from our write-ins of when we were asking questions, one of them just specifically points out the numerous times you've shit yourself.
Fucking always shitting myself. I'll shit myself tomorrow. That's to do with the morning coffees and being stuck in wetsuits.
Yeah. You just like the warmth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think if I owned my own boat, I'd eventually break my thing where because I've never had an aquaturd. And
Oh, yeah, it's
I
awesome in
don't
summer.
want one.
It's awesome in summer.
Yeah, well, there you go. Your own boat.
What,
Find
yeah.
a nice scenic
In the
thing to look
wetsuit, or
at.
do you pull the wetsuit down?
Pull the wetsuit down.
Is that a real question?
Well,
What's
because
it, pulls it down.
No, but that's different. Shitting yourself with the
Yeah.
that's shitting yourself.
sorry.
You've got the wetsuit on. Shitting is with it off.
Good point. So planned poos you enjoy.
Yeah,
Please
not a
tell us
sneaky
more about how
shit
you
that's been
have
too
shat
much.
yourself.
I don't know how I've shat myself.
Is it true? Yeah, you went on holiday with Catherine.
Oh, yeah,
and I
everyone
mean
knows.
everyone knows
Yeah,
about
yeah,
this.
this
You went
one.
on holiday and you got gassed her and
Yeah, that was my
shit
first.
yourself for a week.
That was the first time out of the country.
Oh,
She-
ever out of the country?
She can't talk though. She got the shits too. You know, things happened.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
And then, like, you know, asking the motel manager the next day,
We need fresh sheets every day.
yeah, do you have some brown sheets or
Oh.
something? Like, well, why is everything white? Like,
I know you guys are good mates, but that must have really like cemented the friendship dealing with all of that.
she's
my
awesome.
God.
She always looks after me, so that's good.
That's so good.
Well, hopefully Catherine Sace will still let us interview her at some point, and then you can get a chance to tell us lots of stories about her.
Yeah.
No, I don't have any.
Don't have any. Well, I've had a couple already. Yep. I'd say in life, just if you haven't shit yourself, it's just because you haven't shit yourself yet. So that's advice to you, Laura.
Have you got any funny stories? We've got a few other sections to ask you some questions, but I realised we didn't actually include in here any funny stories. If you could...
I'm not a funny person.
I'm not a funny person.
Funny stories.
Doesn't have to be throwing anyone under the bus, just like...
I'm sure I had some in the top of my mind leading up to this, but there's always the equitude ones, but it's just kind of normal.
Those are always funny.
Yeah, it's just normal.
Yeah.
Like,
Seems to be part of being a Spearo.
yeah, being a Spearo, being on a boat, going out first thing in the morning and coffee and everyone needing a shit, you go for a shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll bring up some, yeah.
Excellent.
So, these ones aren't shitting stories, but back in the day, before your father's times, we used to go on trips to Barrier quite a few times a year, maybe half a dozen times each year. We used to go over on a boat called Red Quarters, and
We were told the words "ask him about red quarters," so there we go.
Someone
You've read our
brought it
mind.
So we used to go to Barrier, or Mokes, mainly Barrier, on this boat, and it would sleep like 20 people, or 25, 20 people.
That's a big boat.
Yeah, it was an old landing craft from the early, I don't know, World War II or somewhere like that sort of era, and the whole front used to open up.
Cool.
Fuck, it was slow as fuck. It was like you'd leave Princess Wharf at like 7 o'clock at night, and you'd get to Barrier at like 2, 3 in the morning.
And just for people who might be from Australia or somewhere else, you mean Great Barrier Island.
Yeah, that's the one. And so you'd have generally 20 guys on the boat, kind of know each other, but not really, and just getting drunk on the way over as you do, and drinking way too much, and fighting, and doing all sorts of silly stuff. And there's one of the early trips, there's this guy, Big Brett, we used to call him. He was a big boy, and he got smashed. He was quite young. He got smashed one trip, and we had to go down the stairs, quite tight stairs to get down, because you're on a boat. You know, there's not much room, and then the bunk room.
Of the sardine beds.
I don't know how it happened, but he got the top bunk somehow.
Even though he's a big
And
dude.
he was a big dude, and he was rotten as, like, you pretty much had to carry him down to bed, and then there's about 6 guys just trying to put him up into his bunk. it was messy, and like those trips were quite messy. There was lots of throwing up, drunkenness. In the mornings, being like spearos, like what we are, the front, the skipper would lower the front of the boat, and there'd be like about 3 or 4 tenders, and you'd bring them around, and everyone would be gearing up on the front of the boat, hungover as fuck. It's throwing up everywhere.
I just don't know how you guys did it. I can't dive over.
Everyone's just throwing up and being sick, trying to get into these tenders to go for a dive, because, we're spearos, we're hardcore. Let's go before the sun's even up. And then you'll go drop everyone off along the coast and go diving, and then you'll come back in the tender to pick everyone up. It's like, where is everyone? And everyone's just up on the rocks sleeping.
So they last a little while in the water and then
Yeah.
can't hack it and have to have a little moi on the rocks.
It was messy. They were fun, they were awesome trips, eh?
That sounds pretty fun though. So was that sort of a kind of like an arranged charter that used to go all the time?
Yeah,
Doesn't
yeah.
exist anymore, or?
Yeah, Red sold the boat. They went up to the islands ages ago now. But yeah, they're good trips. He used to just give him a bottle of Blackheart. He loved his rum.
Yeah, or red label.
And then you just go to Bears for the weekend, and it was cheap as.
Yeah.
And you'd have all these tenders, and yeah.
We had a really cool liveaboard trip to the Barrier Great barrier, sorry. But no, I think it was one tender with that. And it was, I don't know how many of us, 10, 11, 12. And it's pretty cool getting to hang out for a few days and you're just eating fish and going spearing and sleeping.
Yeah.
And we didn't get loose. We were being too athlete on it because we wanted to utilise our dive days and feel good.
I remember having a fight with one of our good mates, like, just rotten as just drinking way too much. I was like, this fella's going to have a swing in a second. And like just the real slow motion swing and this, and then you're just having a wrestle on the floor and then...
Elise likes to wrestle people even so, but like... I mean that in a completely... She genuinely wrestles people.
And then...
Some of our guy mates from spearing, Tyson, I was like, they're just wrestling, and that's not... Usually one or two drinks required.
He does jiu-jitsu, and every time we drink, he's like, I'm going to teach you to spar. And
Every time they drink, Elise says, I'm going to beat you, is actually what happens. And then I turn around and me and his wife are watching and they're just full on like wrestling. So I can only imagine Elise on this red quarter boat
sometimes we
going
have
toe to
running
toe.
races. We're like children. Sometimes we have like sprint races and like just like, I bet you, I don't know. Is there for some reason when we drink, suddenly it's like who can do the most pull-ups, who can run the fastest, and then, basically Laura and Ruth just sit there watching being like, when do you reckon they're going to stop? Last time, I think it was trying to traverse a table. And, I won.
To be fair, if I thought I could win, I'd join in, but I'd not put my money on that. But that sounds okay. Sounds like some fond memories of the red quarters.
They're good trips. And because quite a lot of the time it was people from the South Island or Wellington flying up to go on these trips because we don't get to dive Northland that often. You'd get a few locals from Auckland that would come out on these trips, and you would always just watch them, and you'll be like, whoa. Like they'll come back to the boat with all these big snapper and that, and you're like shooting leather jackets and stuff.
Yeah. Well, because you've mentioned a few times about different things like possibly learning to sail and maybe having a different boat of your own, maybe even some charter ideas.
Yeah.
Want to tell us a little bit more about that?
Oh, I'm working towards it.
I'm just wondering if it's being inspired by the red quarters and you're planning on holding a fight club on your boat or not.
Yeah, one of scraps. Scraps on. I think I don't know. I just want to try and do something a little... Oh, it's probably not different. Heaps of people do it. But I just want to get a boat where I can do liveaboard charters and charter tours the girls and pretty much do what I'm doing now, but with a bit more luxury, I guess.
Like bit of a bougie vibe.
Yeah. Come back and have some cheese and wine and crackers and stuff and filling up your fish and cook a feed for dinner. And
That's what I like about being on your boat currently is having the lunch and, going through the process of actually cooking your catch on the day and spending that time with the people you're diving with and eating it. So I think it's a really cool idea of, incorporating the spearing with a little bit of a bougie dining food aspect to it and being something that's, like you say, maybe got hot showers and it's a little bit more comfortable and you don't smell like piss.
Yeah. I think the girls like the whole experience, like you say, like going out, getting your fish and then actually filleting it and having it for dinner that night. Trying to find a photo of me on red quarters, passed out.
Please send it to us.
Well, the next questions were going to be about do you have any dive day rituals or boat rituals, but it sounds to me like you like a good poo and I like a good fight, so...
Fight.
Just depends which one's first day.
Fighting with myself, trying to get it out.
Have you got a favourite spot to hunt?
No.
No. Have you got a favourite fish to hunt?
No.
No, and good chat. Have you got a favourite fish to eat?
No. I think the favourite fish it's probably not the yummiest, but I just like kingfish because they're so versatile. You can do heaps with them. I mean raw, mean cooked, mean smoked. Just, they last a week. But yeah, probably mahi-mahi's been my favourite to eat because of the taste. Oh, and trumpeter.
Have you got them in New Zealand, mahi-mahi?
Oh, I shot a couple little ones back in the day.
Ah, so cool. If we see any floating logs tomorrow, I'm getting in.
What does trumpeter taste like?
I don't know, fish. It's
now I'm thinking about what it tastes like, right?
It's a nice white flesh. A part of me thinks because I haven't had it for so long, maybe it kind of gets put up there that it's real yum. Like it is nice. It is a nice fish. I haven't had it for probably 15 years now since I've moved up north. So, and trumpeter was always a favourite as well. Yeah, they're real tasty.
If you could go back and give yourself one hot tip for when you started spearfishing, what would it be?
Take more boys out.
Yeah.
Watch out, your phone will fill up with DMs.
It's funny, eh? Boys their minds just wander, eh? Get heaps of DMs.
Oh gosh, I don't know what to reply to that. That makes me sound like my head's on the gutter too. So we'll just.
They're always wondering what's going on the boat.
Really? Oh, you get messages from dudes.
Wondering what Gatorade we're all drinking, eh?
We can cut that out. But do you get messages from dudes being like, what the fuck, man? Or stuff like that?
More like, how you doing it, bro? What Gatorade are you giving them?
Yeah,
Feel like that.
Really?
Yeah,
The uncle's Gatorade.
Heaps, eh? Like, how the fuck?
Just jealousy.
How do you do it? And then like others are like, he's just having big orgies and stuff on the boat.
You're like, yep, that's a cult. I'm giving them
you
magic
like
juice. Hey, let people think what they want to think.
We'll cut that bit.
Good on them.
It's just
Just
interesting.
need to cut it out. This is what it is. We're coming to the end of like our questions, but one of the things that I did notice that you had, we often have a section asking people like what their biggest challenge was, but I did notice that you've been quite open online about like sometimes losing your maybe like motivation or love for spearing sometimes, and like you've done it for long enough, but you've mentioned things like about how it positively impacts your mental health, but that how sometimes you also kind of just like, don't dive for a while and don't feel like diving for a while. So would you say that like what's that motivational part has been a barrier to your spearfishing at times?
Yeah, I think it's more I think it's just how you feel at the time, I guess, like, or that stage, whatever you're going through. Like, sometimes you just feel like maybe you're being more used, I guess, for doing whatever you're doing. And then you lose motivation that way because you feel like, people are only getting in touch when they want to do stuff or whatever. And
They want the Gatorade.
Yeah, when they want the Gatorade. Yeah, so part of it's probably that. Maybe just feeling a bit new.
Especially if like part you enjoy is the connection.
Yeah.
If you maybe don't feel like people are also coming for the connection, would you say that would impact it? If they're just coming to shoot fish or, be taken somewhere that's quite different to like coming and connecting and being in the environment maybe?
Yeah, I think yes. So like you'll take people out and it's just like you're taking them out for I don't even know how to say this. Tricky questions.
No, that's good. That's something we've been always really wary of is like, when we come up, it's always been like, no, we want to like come and hang out. Like, no.
But you also don't want to overstay your welcome. Like, flatmates invited us to have dinner with them, having some drinks, and like now that we know you better, we know we're not like overstepping.
Yeah.
But it is hard to know sometimes if you're, taking up too much of someone's weekend, or whether they do want to hang out and chat, or they do want to share a meal, and all those different kinds of aspects of learning what people are expecting with a connection.
I think there's just been people in the past like that kind of make you feel their way, and then you kind of lose a bit of motivation to carry on doing what you do, and you kind of step back a little bit and just kind of chill and go into hiding and just do your own thing. But like, the last few years have been awesome though. I've loved getting out on the water and trying to take new people out all the time. Yeah.
Does that kind of fill your cup? Like if you are having, like I know me and Elise talk about it a lot, like if we're having like a rough time, we're going through something, like we've found diving and being in oceans like super helps us. We always feel better if we've been to a pool training or we've got stuff going on. We'll be like on the way to a dive and we know we're going to feel better when we're out of the ocean. Do you feel that as well?
I think if you can get motivated enough to get out and actually do it, I think you always feel better once you're out there and in it and doing it.
Once you're in your suit, especially in winter, like if you're in your suit and you get in, you're sweet. But before that, it's like,
There's sometimes it can be a struggle to get that motivation to get out and do it. But like, I think once you're out there, it is always better and nicer in the water. And,
I'm sure you already know this, but the amount of people that you would have given that feeling to, that, wouldn't have access to a boat or be able to know the spots, have somewhere to stay, all that kind of stuff. Like, I know handfuls of people already, girls that I know, that are just like some of the best experiences that they had in the water or diving have been because you've taken them out. So I think that's epic what you do, and I hope that you keep enjoying those connections with people and that people are giving back to you in as many ways as they can. And I'm not really sure yet how we can do that, but hopefully one day we can provide some kind of assistance with this dream plan of yours, and that we could keep having those experiences with you and stuff as well. But I think the only other thing we normally ask is whether there's like anything you want to let people know about spearfishing, about yourself, that you kind of want to end on.
Spearfishing myself. I think we've pretty much covered the bulk of it, eh? I'm pretty sure I got some stuff in there that will stay in there that no one will know. Yeah, like when I did poo myself on the boat locally. But,
Sometimes it's good to have secrets.
yeah, need some secrets.
I mean, it would be weird if it just wasn't on the water yet.
yeah, it would be. I think we've pretty much covered everything. I think just get out there and enjoy it, and I like it, and I think everyone that follows me or maybe knows who I am. Like, where was I going with this? Just I don't know, just keep on diving and enjoying it, and or maybe share your knowledge and help people out. I think there's a bit of that going on now. Like, I think there's a lot more people willing to help newer divers now. Like, a while ago, there wasn't. You pretty much went out with your friends and that was it. But I've noticed in the last couple of years that there's like quite a lot of people helping newer divers get into the sport and helping the girls out a lot more. And I think it's awesome just watching the girly community. It's massive now. I reckon the boys are getting left behind.
We'll do our best to kick hard, and
We're obviously all for the boys getting mentorship and people helping and stuff, but I think we agree, like, we've had a lot of people spend time helping us, and I think it's cool that if you've partly paved the way for that, it can be a positive thing, because it can be kind of scary being in a sport where you're a girl. A lot of the time I've been a single female, I don't know people, and it is quite a scary situation to like go and meet people, go diving with guys that you don't know. But I also think it must be quite hard for dudes to do that too, because they've put themselves in a situation where a lot of them have partners, kids, wives, and then, people are hitting them up to go for dives or go and do things in this like whole day or half a day. So I think, like, hats off to all the dudes in particular, girls as well, but all the dudes who do spend time like helping girls get into it, even though that can be quite a tricky situation to navigate, and a lot of people don't really understand why, different age bracketed people and different genders want to do this same activity together. But I think that sharing, like you say, that sharing the knowledge and bothering to give people the time of day to do something that you have this shared love of is a really like special and important part of spearfishing, especially in New Zealand, from what I can figure out, that there seems to be that fostering of
definitely in New Zealand.
yeah, that's cool. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it, and
sorry for keeping you up all night.
Yeah, I look forward to a really, really cool day out on the boat with you tomorrow, and plenty more memories. It'll be a memorable trip this time.
Promise we won't scratch the side of your boat. I won't make a mess, and we'll be chill.
We'll see.
We'll be watching.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Kent.
Thank you.
As you've just heard, Uncle is a legend of the sport, giving countless hours of his sea time to help other spearos enjoy the lifestyle. We appreciate that he trusted us to share his journey and his love for the underwater world.
Let us and Uncle know what you think of this episode via Instagram, or chuck us an email on spearodiaries@gmail.com. And if you know a spearo with a wicked journey or perspective on the spearfishing lifestyle, we'd love to hear from you.
For the Kiwis out there, be safe out there this summer. It's still cranking with plenty of blue water and a few long weekends coming up. For For the rest of you overseas, happy diving and keep tagging us in your adventures. Keep your eyes peeled on Instagram for our summer Spearo session stories. We want to hear all about your summer stories, your best sessions out in the water, and we want to see pictures. So keep your eyes peeled. Toodles!
Toodles!